If you're a little bit like me and you think the radio, the nav and the infotainment system in the Cayman and Boxster 981 is a little bit crap, then I may have a good solution for you. In this video I'm going to be installing an Android device which has Apple CarPlay installed to it as well. We're going to go through step by step how to put this kit into your vehicle. Now it's a really cost effective kit. I think it cost me about £250. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop the link to the description, link to the kit in the description below this video. So if you do like the look of this kit in the vehicle, then obviously just click the link and go through and buy it yourself. But it's going to be a massive improvement on the system that is already in there, already installed. Massive thanks and a big shout out to Paul at Engineering who put me in touch with this kit. He's already installed this kit into his vehicle. But he hasn't made a video for it, so he's kind of like being the guinea pig, but I'm going to make the video on the install for this kit in the vehicle. So if you want to, you can follow his Cayman project. I'll put his Instagram in the description below this video. So yeah, let's crack on and let's get this installed. So these are the box contents. Obviously we've got the main unit and screen here, and I'll just show you a little look at the back of the unit there. Obviously it's quite thinner than the original unit that you'll be taking out. We've got wiring here, a bit more wiring there, and a user manual for installing as well. So inside the vehicle, what we need to do is start removing some interior panels. Now this is the left hand side, which you can see we've already removed. It's really simple. All you really need to do is put your hand on the underside of these panels and you'll see it kind of like start to clip out. It's just clips which hold this in, and then you can kind of pull that out, and it's got these little like connectors in there as well, but these will come out in any case on both sides, so don't worry too much about those. So you can just put those to one side, and then you can put both of your side panels to one side as well. Now you'll need to use a Torx bit for the next little bit. If you haven't got a Torx bit, these got quite cheap on Amazon, probably around £10 delivered, and you need to use a T25, and we've got 4 bolts, 2 on each side, so one there, one there, one there, one there, that we need to simply just start unscrewing, and these are really simple to pull out. So once you've removed those screws, it might be easier if you pop the key in and move the gear selector down to the drive position. You won't be able to then remove the key, but what it's then going to do is allow you to pull this unit out, and it just simply slides out really easily like that. And you'll see there are some connections on the back side of this unit, so I'm trying to show you here. There we go. So easiest thing to do, whoops, is pull this one out first, and then this one here, it's a tab that you pull down on that, and that pulls that whole unit out. So then you've got the whole unit out, and we can obviously just put that to one side for now. So now if we're looking at the back of the unit, you'll see this plug here will plug straight into this area here, but you'll also see that with your packet you've got lots of like loose cables, and what I've done is there's lots of little like port connectors here whereby these cables will slide in. So as an example, this one here will slide into that one there, and once they're in, you'll hear like a little clicking sound, but you can remove them. There's like a little pull tab just underneath there which you can pull and then slide these out again. So I'm going to go ahead and put these in. Obviously you've got some things here which aren't like, so here's like, this is like a microphone for example, so this will need to be plugged into the microphone port, which will be somewhere, there we go. So there's like a microphone port there, and what it's just a case of doing for some of the wires is like feeding it around somewhere within the cabin where you're going to be happy with it sitting. So you might need to get underneath the dash for certain situations to plug in certain things. We've got like USB ports as well, like here, so that makes things easier for like charging, but these all plug in and it's relatively all plug and play. This is another part of the packaging, so this is like a GPS responder. So what you'll need to do is feed this through somewhere, and just sort of, you've got like a double-sided pad here, stick it on the underside of somewhere. The other end is going to go into that little bit there. It's like it's all marked GPS, but you stick that in, screw that in properly, and that allows the GPS to start running on the machine. So I'm going to get that installed. And if you wanted to add a SIM card, there is also a little cable coming out here. I'm going to pull this top off, which allows you to slide a SIM card into that area. I won't be using that, so I'm just going to keep that tightly connected to the rest of the cables. Now, for the things that you need to feed through the back of the access area here, there are sort of like quite a few little holes this side and that side that you will be able to feed these wires through. Like, I've been able to feed this GPS antenna right the way through here, and I've got it now coming out the other side. Also, you'll need to feed through the microphone as well, and that will probably need to be fed through, or you might need to feed it like up the pillars or something like that, or to get it maybe to like this area here. Sorry, you can't see it on the camera here, but just above where the rear view mirror is, just up here. So yeah, I think it's time to sort of start. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a sort of a test fit first of all, whereby everything is fed through, and then it's kind of like sitting in place, but not fully fitted. So I'll start doing that now. In fact, what I'll do is I'll feed everything through. So I'll feed the USBs through, and I'll also feed the microphone through. So you might not be able to see, but I've fed the USB ports down through this little section here. So I'm probably going to have these on the passenger side, and once we've got a bit more freedom with these cables here, I'll sort of maybe reroute them maybe into the glove box if possible. If not, then I'll just sort of like use some double-sided pads to stick them down there somewhere, and maybe that's where they'll live. So the microphone, I'm going to feed that through this section here again, through the driver's side. There we go. So we got that fed through, and then this will obviously take a lot more fine tuning, but I'll get that fed right under here, and maybe bring it out somewhere like here on this pillar, if possible. You can't see it, but just at the top of this pillar here. So we'll keep them out of the way for now. I think we're ready to do a test fit, so I'm going to plug that in. So that just plugs straight in like that. This one, the other factory cable, plugs in right here. Go until you hear the click, and then try and put the cables in. And that looks like it's a good fit, actually. Obviously I'll need to put the screws in, but I'm not going to worry about that just for now, because I'm going to start the engine, or start the ignition should I say, and see what it gives us. So it started with an Android 12 logo. Now it might take a long time to boot up for the very first time. I don't know. Powered by Android, device is starting. So this is kind of what we've got. So the initial screen looks really good. Obviously it will take a bit of fine tuning, a little bit of getting used to, figuring out how to get the CarPlay screens on there. But that is something that I'll sort out when I've got everything fitted properly. And there we go. A few seconds later, we've now got the CarPlay screens on, which is pretty good. I'm not sure how though to get, I don't know if it'll work without this cable. So if I unplug the cable, I don't know if it'll still work without it, which it looks like it will. So then one of the questions is, how do I get from like the main sort of home screen, which is this one here, to Apple CarPlay? Now I also wanted to show you how I'm feeding the microphone. So we've pulled out this seal here, which is really easy to do, and got the wire kind of just like fed underneath this part here, and it's going to be fed up here. And you can see I've already got it wedged between this area here, and you can see that's where the microphone is just going to sit freely in that little place there, if you can see that. So this just needs to be tucked in and then the seal put back on. Alright, so now everything is fully installed. I've got the microphone fully installed there. The GPS unit right underneath here is plugged in. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug the key, so put the key in the ignition, turn this on, and that is the screen that you will instantly get. That is just a quick, like a little icon that pops open, so it lets you know if the door is open or not. So we know it's connecting, and it's automatically connected to the Apple CarPlay there, which is good. If you wanted to get back onto the main screen, then you can just click on Car, and if you are in the Car section, then you want to get back onto CarPlay. I can't find any icon when clicking these things here, so I don't know if it's something I can add at some point, but what I can do is just pull down until it sees Z-Link 5, click on the Z-Link 5, and that takes me back to the CarPlay screen, and then I can click on the screens here, get my music on. One thing I still haven't found yet, don't judge me on my music choices, one thing I still, cracking song, one thing I still haven't found is how to stop that annoying beeping. So I'm going to continue to look at that and see if I can find out how to get rid of that beeping, because that is really quite annoying. But yeah, so it's a really good package. As I say, what I'm going to do is pop the link in the description below this video. Thanks again to Paul for engineering. He doesn't like these knobs. I don't mind them actually. I think they do have a glossy finish which does match the screen. It still has a screen protector on, which you can just obviously peel off. But for the price of this, about $240, $250, I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'm probably going to put it in another car of mine, which I can't tell you anything about because I haven't put it on the channel yet. So thanks for watching. Right, I am back again because I found out how to get rid of the annoying beep. So we need to go into settings, we need to go into car settings, bass setting, and then key press beep, beep tone while key press. So then that would then bring back the annoying beep. Wow, it's so annoying. So you can just turn that off there. Power on, volume limit, there's loads of different settings that you can obviously go through, but that's how to do that. You can just get rid of that, back into Z-Link 5, there we are, back into CarPlay.